Fairies pack, you get a new feature called Fables. And if you're somebody who is lore obsessed like me, you would love that feature, which is basically like getting an assignment from a sim in exchange for a piece of lore. You can ask Glenn about the sleeping giant and he will tell you this. There once stood a gnome taller than a throne, who lost what was once so dear. Away to his garden, the walls he did harden, secluded alone and in fear. The children came quick, for the gnome they had kicked had locked himself far from their feet. But due to the walls, his plans he enthralled had withered and died from no heat. So could such a sim hear a simple man's whim to waken the beast from within? I'll send you along, you won't need a song, just simply show them compassion. Okay, the last part really weirded me out because it didn't rhyme. We're just going to pretend like that didn't happen. But what's interesting about this fable is that, yes, we're talking about a gnome, and we're probably talking about the gnome statue that stands in front of Glenn's stall. Because to complete this quest, you have to bring the giant gnome to life using fairy dust and then soothe them. However, I do think that the story has a double meaning. It almost sounds like we might be talking about Glenn himself, because Glenn lives alone and he has a fence all around his house guarding him from the outside world. And he does admit that he is a weird guy, so probably people used to make fun of him, especially kids. And it feels like through this fable, Glenn is asking to be shown compassion. Yes, Glenn is in a better place now in his life, but was it always the case, or did he have to go through some hardships to get to where he is now? This could also be the reason why Glenn is so fascinated by gnomes. He might see them as the outcast, and it might be relatable for him, as Glenn is also an outcast himself. So he collects gnomes and he's surrounded by them because maybe it makes him feel less alone.